ただいまから日米韓次官協議共同記者会見を執り行います。森武雄外務事務次官、レンディ・シャーマン米国国務副長官、チョ・ヒョンドン韓国外交部第一次官からそれぞれご発言をいただいた後、質疑応答を行います。質疑応答につきましては、日本のプレス、米国のプレス、韓国のプレスの順にそれぞれ1問ずつお受けいたします。それではまず、森事務次官からご発言をお願いいたします。
はい。本日、シャーマン国務副長官とチョ・ヒョンドン韓国外交部第一次官を講じて、東京にお迎えし、日米韓次官協議を実施できたことに大変喜ばしく思っております。安全保障環境は急速に厳しさを増しています。そうした中で3カ国の協力は北朝鮮の対応のみならず、地域や国際社会の平和と安定、そして自由で開かれたインド太平洋の実現にとって一層重要となっています。6月には3カ国首脳会合が開催され、また9月の国連総会の機会にも3カ国外相会合が行われましたが、そこから間を置かずに本日この次官協議を実施し、核・ミサイル活動を活発化させる北朝鮮への対応、ウクライナ情勢、中国、太平洋島諸国といった地域情勢、さらには経済安全保障、そして気候変動といった共通の課題について大変率直かつ戦略的な議論を行うことができたことは大変有意義でありました。今回の協議ではまず北朝鮮に関して昨今の極めて高い頻度での弾道ミサイル発射を含め、北朝鮮が核・ミサイル活動を強化していることは国際社会に対する明白かつ深刻な挑戦であるとの認識を改めて共有いたしました。その上で日米同盟、米韓同盟の抑止力、対処力をさらに強化するとともに、3カ国安全保障協力をさらに推進することで一致しました。また、今後核実験を含め、さらなる挑発行為がある可能性を踏まえつつ、北朝鮮の完全な非核化に向け、地域の抑止力強化に加え、安保理を含む国連における対応、外交的な取り組みといった観点から一層緊密に連携することで一致いたしました。拉致問題に関しては私から引き続きの理解と協力を求め、お二人から全面的な指示をいただいたところでございます。お二人の指示に改めて感謝したいと思います。ウクライナによる、失礼しました。ロシアによるウクライナ侵略については、欧州のみならずアジアを含む国際秩序の根幹を脅かす行為であるとして、改めて強く非難しました。ロシアがウクライナでの核兵器の使用を示唆していることは極めて憂慮すべき事態であります。私からは、戦後77年間、核兵器が使用されていない歴史をないがしろにすることがあってはならない点を強調し、ロシアによる核兵器の威嚇も、ましてや使用もあってはならないとの認識を共有しました。また、ウクライナが汚い爆弾を使用する準備を行っているとのロシアによる虚偽の主張は認められない点を確認し、いかなる口実であれ、ロシアによるさらなるエスカレーションは決して許されるものではない、その点で一致をしました。さらに東シナ海及び南シナ海情勢を含め議論を行い、力による一方的な現状変更の試みを許してはならないとの認識を共有しました。また、台湾海峡の平和と安定が重要との認識を改めて確認したところです。さらに中国については、共産党大会及び新指導部の選出を受けた動向を注視していくことで一致しました。加えて東南アジアや太平洋島しょ国情勢、気候変動、経済安全保障、女性の活躍といった国際社会が直面する共通の課題についても意見交換を行い、こうした地域、分野においても連携を一層深めていくことで一致しました。本日の議論を踏まえ、3カ国の間でさらに重層的な意思疎通を行い、緊密な連携と協力を一層前進させたい考えであります。 私からは以上です。
That is all. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you
そ
very
れでは
much.
続きまして、シャーマン
Then,
副長官よりお願い
Deputy
し
Secretary of the
ます。
State Chairman, over to you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. It's always wonderful to be back in Tokyo. I want to thank Vice Foreign Minister Mori and the government of Japan for their hospitality in hosting us today. I also want to thank First Vice Foreign Minister Cho for traveling from Seoul to join us for this incredibly important meeting, which further demonstrates our commitment to trilateral cooperation with Japan and the Republic of Korea, and which follows a productive trilateral meeting held at the ministerial level last month in New York. Today's meeting was deeply substantive and covered the wide range of issues you just heard about from Vice Minister Mori, and it speaks to the level of friendship and trust that has been built amongst us. Japan and the Republic of Korea are strong and close allies to the United States. Our commitment to defending both countries is ironclad, and we are clearly bound together by common security interests. But we are also connected by our economic ties, by our common values of democracy and freedom, and by our shared vision for a free and open Indo-Pacific. There is so much we can achieve and are achieving when our countries work together. Our meeting today underscores the Biden-Harris administration's steadfast commitment to our long-standing alliances. Investing in those alliances, including with Japan and the Republic of Korea, is critical for building the future we want to see. Today, we discussed our cooperation on shared challenges in the Indo-Pacific and beyond. That includes working together to advance our shared goal of full denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. This year, the DPRK has launched an unprecedented number of ballistic missiles, one of which flew over Japan, posing a serious threat to the Japanese public. Even more troubling, the DPRK has characterized its recent launches as preparations for the potential use of tactical nuclear weapons. Sorry, the page is stuck. And it is impossible to forget, sitting here in Tokyo, all of the Japanese citizens ruthlessly abducted by the DPRK over the years. All of this behavior, all of it, is reckless and deeply destabilizing to the region. We urge the DPRK to refrain from further provocations, and we remain committed to dialogue with the DPRK without preconditions. We also discussed Russia's illegal war of aggression against Ukraine. In just the past month, Russia has attempted to annex Ukrainian territory, a gross violation of the UN Charter, and engaged in repeated attacks on Ukrainian civilians and civilian infrastructure. In the past couple of days, Russia has made a transparently false allegation that Ukraine is preparing to use a dirty bomb on its own territory. The whole world would see through any Russian attempt to use this false allegation as a pretext for escalation. Any loose talk about nuclear weapons or dirty bombs is inherently reckless and destabilizing. I want to thank Japan and the Republic of Korea for their government's steadfast support for the Ukrainian people. Our countries will continue to stand together to oppose any attempts to change another country's borders by force, or to determine another country's political future, or to dictate the terms of its alliance and partnerships anywhere in the world. What is happening in Europe could happen anywhere if this goes unchallenged. On the People's Republic of China, this meeting helped ensure our three countries are aligned in our approach. As President Biden stated in the recently released U.S. National Security Strategy, the People's Republic of China is the one country with the means to advance a different vision of the international order, and its actions suggest that they intend to do so. We remain steadfast in our commitment to the rules-based international order, the very system which allowed China to rise in the first place. And while there are indeed elements of competition in our relationship with Beijing, we do also continue to seek its cooperation on common challenges, including climate change, health security, and nuclear nonproliferation. We are also partnering to preserve an open, secure, and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. ASEAN is critical for regional stability, and we see great potential for cooperation between ASEAN and our 3 countries represented here today on issues ranging from law enforcement to developing the Mekong region. We also had productive discussions about how we can support the priorities of our Pacific Island partners, including on climate change and economic development. And as was mentioned, we also discussed women's economic empowerment. Looking ahead, the United States, Japan, and the Republic of Korea will continue our regular consultations in close collaboration to advance a secure and prosperous future. And I look forward to our next meeting, which will be held in the United States in the first quarter of 2023. Again, I thank Vice Minister Mori and First Vice Foreign Minister Cho for a productive trilateral relationship and for our meeting today. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much.
それでは続きまして、
Next,
張第一
First Vice Foreign
次
Minister
官よりお
Cho,
願いいたします。
over to you.
안녕하십니까. 오늘 한미일 외교 차관 협의회가 성공적으로 개최될 수 있도록 준비해 주신
The successful
모리 차관님과
opening
일본
of Japan,
측에
US and
감사드립니다.
Korea. Vice
또한
Foreign Minister
셔먼
meeting.
부장관님과도
For this success,
다시
my
만나게
thanks
되어
go to
반갑습니다.
Vice Minister Mori.
오늘
And
회의는
it is my great
한미일
pleasure to
3국
meet
협력의
with
중요성과
the Deputy
가치를
Secretary of
재확인하고
State. The
미래
value
발전 방향에
and
대해
importance
진지하게
of the
논의하는
trilateral
뜻깊은
relationship
자리였습니다.
has been valued throughout this
2022년은
meeting in this
3국 협력이
occasion.
새로운 전기를
And in
맞는 해입니다.
2022, I think
5년
that
만에
trilateral
한미일 3국
collaboration
정상회담이
has
개최되었고
entered a new
이를
stage.
기점으로
There was
외교
the summit meeting
국방장관회담,
between Korea
외교 차관
and
협의회
United
등
States after
고위
5 years.
소통과
There was
공조가
also defense
쉴 새
level
없이
meetings
이어졌습니다.
as well
한미일
as
3국
other
협력의
high-level
외연도,
talks.
지역과
With
이슈의
regard
경계를
to the
초월하여
scope of
꾸준히
the
확대되고
trilateral
있습니다.
collaboration has been
하지만 우리
expanded
3국
ever
협력에 대한
since.
굳은 의지만큼이나 한미일이
And that
공동으로
means the
맞이하고
solid
있는 안보 상황은
determination of the three
엄중합니다.
countries will be
특히
going
한반도
to be
정세와
the
관련해서
bedrock
최근
for
북한의
further
미사일 발사 등
cooperation.
일련의
With
도발은
regard to North
한반도는
Korea,
물론
there are
인태
proactive
지역과
measures by
국제사회의
North Korea
불안정성을
pose a
크게
threat
높이고
into
있습니다.
Indo-Pacific
윤석열
region, but also
대통령께서
throughout
어제
the group
국회 시정연설에서
global
강조한
world.
것처럼
President
우리 정부는 국민이 안심하고
made a statement
일상을
at
영유할 수
Parliament
있도록
and that
한미연합 방위
the
태세와
government will
한미일 안보
promote
협력을 통해
defense
압도적인
cooperation
역량으로 대북
between
억제력을
Korea
강화해 나갈
and the
것입니다.
United
아울러
States.
북한이
in
비핵화의
order
결단을
to
내려
defend the country
대화의 장으로
against the
나온다면
threat of nuclear
우리 정부는 담대한
North
구상을
Korea.
통한
And if there's
정치,
going to be a
경제적 지원을
dialogue
다할
offer,
것입니다.
from then we will be ready
한미일
to
3국은
provide any
최근
assistance
북한이
into
전례 없는 빈도로
the
탄도미사일을
trilateral,
발사하고
collaboration
각종
is going to
불법적
be,
도발 행위를 거듭하여 한반도와
going to
영내
address
긴장을
the
고조시키는
threat
것을
by
강력히
North Korea
규탄하였습니다.
and the three countries
북한이
to
공세적인
adopt,
핵 무력
the
정책을
appropriate measures.
채택하여 핵무기
And
사용
if
위협을
North
노고로
Korea
하고
is
있는
going to
상황에서
continue with the use
3국이
of the
긴밀히
threat by
공조를
nuclear
지속해
weapons,
나가기로
the three
했습니다.
countries need and
특히
to
3국은
maintain close
북한이
collaboration
끝내
and cooperation.
7차 핵실험을
In particular,
감행할 경우
the seventh
전례
nuclear
없이
weapon
강력한
test,
대응이
if it is going to be
필요하다는데
carried out, there should be strong resistance
북한이
and
불법적인 행동을
opposition
즉각
to
중단하고
such measures.
비핵화
Illegal
대화의
actions
장으로 복귀하도록
should be abandoned
국제사회와
immediately, and
공조도
North
더욱
Korea
강화해
should come
나가기로
back into
하였습니다.
the international negotiating table.
다음으로 지역
And for
문제입니다.
that, international cooperation
한미일은
should be
한반도와
further enhanced.
인태 지역을 포함한 세계 어디에서도 무력 또는 강압에 의한 영토 및 지역의 현상 변경 시도에 반대할 것임을 분명히 하였습니다. 러시아의 우크라이나 침공을 규탄하며 러시아의 점령지 영토 병합을 인정할 수 없다는 입장을 재확인하였습니다. 최근에 거론되고 있는 핵 사용 가능성에 대해서 깊은 우려와 반대 입장을 분명히 하였습니다. 우크라이나의 평화 회복과 재건을 위해 국제사회와 노력을 더욱 결집해야 된다는 공감대 아래 우크라이나 정부와 국민을 계속 지원해 나가기로 하였습니다. 태평양 도서국과 아세안 등 영내 국가들과의 협력 강화를 위해서도 3국 간 공조를 배가해 나가기로 하였습니다. 우선 우리 3국의 태도국과의 협력이 상호 보완적인 효과를 낼 수 있도록 각자가 보유한 역량과 경험을 공유하기로 하였습니다. 우리 핵심 파트너인 아세안 국가들과의 협력에 있어서도 3국 간 실질적인 공조 방안을 모색하기로 하였습니다. 아울러 인태 지역 내 법 집행 분야 등 구체 협력 가능 분야를 발굴해 나가기로 하였습니다. 한미일 협력은 우리의 인태 전략을 통해서도 영내 핵심적인 협력 메커니즘으로 자리매김할 것입니다. 글로벌 협력입니다. 우리 세 차관은 규범에 기반한 경제 질서 강화, 공급망 안정화와 첨단 기술 증진을 위해 3국 간 전략적 소통을 심화시켜 나가기로 하였습니다. 아울러 기후변화, 에너지, 식량 안보 문제, 보건 위기 등 21세기 도전 대응에 있어서도 협력의 모멘텀을 이어나가기로 하였습니다. 우리 정부 출범 이후 두 번째로 개최된 오늘 한미일 외교차 간 협의회에서 저는 북한 문제는 물론 인태 지역과 국제사회 현안을 해결하기 위한 3국 공조 강화의 필요성을 재확인할 수 있었습니다. 앞으로도 모리 차관님, 시험원 부장관님과 수시로 소통하며 한미일 협력을 더욱 내실 있게 다져나가겠습니다. 감사합니다.
ありがとうございました。それではここから質疑応答を行います。ご質問のある方は挙手をお願いいたします。こちらで指名をいたしますので、指名をされました方は近くのスタンドマイクの前に進み出て、所属と名前をお名乗りになってからご質問をお願いいたします。なお、時間の制約上、質問はお一人につき1問とし、どなたへの質問かを指定した上でお願いをいたします。それではまず日本のプレスの方から挙手をお願いいたします。それでは G 通信の田中さんどうぞ。
霞クラブ幹事社の時事通信田中です。よろしくお願いします。森次官にお伺いします。北朝鮮は9月下旬以降に弾道ミサイルの発射を繰り返し、最近は日本海や黄海の南北境界線付近への砲撃も重ねています。7回目の核実験に踏み切る可能性も指摘されますが、本日の協議では北朝鮮情勢についてどのような意見交換をして、さらなる挑発の見通しやですね、今後の対応についてどういった点を確認したのでしょうか。また中国共産党の新指導部が発足しましたが、台湾への圧力を強める中国や、またウクライナなど、地域情勢についてどのような議論をしましたか、改めてお聞かせください。
ご質問ありがとうございます。この時間協議、3者の時間協議ですけれども、やはり一つの重要な中核が北朝鮮の問題についての議論であります。北朝鮮のこの核・ミサイル活動、これは国際社会全体に対する明白かつ深刻な挑戦であるという認識を改めて共有したということは先ほども申しましたけれども、さらに掘り下げてですね、これをどう見るかという調査についても相当程度見方が一致しているということが印象的でありました。またこの3カ国の安全保障協力をさらに推進するという点についても新たに決意をお互いに表明して今後とも連携を深めていくことを確認したところでございます。今後の核実験を含めですね、さらなる挑発行為がある可能性、そういった点についてももちろん議論をいたしました。北朝鮮の完全なる非核化に向けて、地域の抑止力を強化し、そして、安保理を含む国連における対応を行っていく、外交的な取り組みを全力で進めていく、こういった観点から3者で一層緊密に連携することを改めて強く確認いたしました。中国についても議論が及び、東シナ海、そして南シナ海における行動はやはり変わっていないということで一致したところです。率直な意見を交換を行いました。力による一方的な現状変更は その試みを許してはならないという認識も改めて確認したことでございます。そして台湾海峡の平和と安定が重要との認識、これも今一度確認をいたしました。ロシアによるウクライナ侵略についても議論をいたしました。ここでも基本的考え方で明確な意見の一致があったところでございます。私からは先ほども申しましたけれども、やはりロシアがウクライナでの核兵器の使用を示唆していること、この点を極めて憂慮するということを述べ、ましてや使用というようなことは決してあってはならないことを強く強調したところでございます。また、ウクライナが汚い爆弾を使用する準備を行っていると、こうした虚偽の主張についても議論をし、いかなる形であれ、ロシアによるさらなるエスカレーションは決して許されることはないという点で一致を見ました。以上です。
はい、続きまして米国メディアの方からご質問を受けます。それではニューヨークタイムズの元小律さんどうぞ。
Then, New York Times.
Thank you very much. This is for Deputy Secretary Sherman. Thank you for the opportunity. Given President Biden's recent reiteration of the U.S. intention to protect Taiwan militarily in the event of invasion or attack, what have you communicated to both the Japan and the South Korean side of the U.S. expectations of their military participation in such an event? And then also on North Korea, if there is a nuclear weapons test, there's been discussion of going through the UN Security Council. If China were to resist any move for increased sanctions, would you consider secondary sanctions against China? Thank you very much.
Thank you. First of all, let me be clear about U.S. policy regarding Taiwan. Our policy has not changed. We believe intensely that we need to maintain peace across the Taiwan Strait, and no one should take unilateral action to change that status quo. We have, for a long time, had our One China policy. That includes as well the 6 assurances and the Taiwan Relations Act passed by our legislature, which means that we will support Taiwan in its ability to defend itself. And our stance regarding Taiwan remains as it has been for many years now. We discussed, as you heard from Vice Minister Mori, that indeed we discussed this issue, that we all agree that there needs to be peace in the Taiwan Strait. It is critical for the commerce of the world, it is critical for peace and security. The United States has repeated publicly that we do not support Taiwan's independence, but we want to ensure that there is peace. And so we will be doing whatever we can to support Taiwan and to work with Japan and with the Republic of Korea to ensure that Taiwan can defend itself. Regarding North Korea, you've heard from both of my colleagues our concern about not just the saber rattling and the missile rattling, but the nuclear test rattling, and indeed allusions that all of this work is a test run for the use of a tactical nuclear weapon. As we have all said, this is very destabilizing, very dangerous, very concerning for the region. I think one thing that is very evident to all three of us is that when things happen in one part of the world, they have an impact on the entire world. My colleagues from Japan and from the Republic of Korea helped all of the world understand that if, in fact, a country in Europe decides that it can invade the sovereign territory of Ukraine, that may create a permission slip for other countries to take action in other parts of the world and also exacerbate food insecurity and energy insecurity and economic security of the world. And indeed, anything that happens here, such as a North Korean nuclear test, or if they in fact see this as a test run for the use of a tactical nuclear weapon, has implications for the security of the entire world. We hope indeed that everyone on the Security Council would understand that any use of a nuclear weapon would change the world in incredible ways. And so we all must continue to affirm what in fact the P5 said in a statement, I believe in January, which is that a nuclear war cannot be won, so it should never be fought.
はい、それでは最後に韓国メディアの方からご質問を受けます。それでは韓国日報のチェ・ジンジュ記者どうぞ。
네, 그동안 북한에 대한 공동 대응이나 이런 것, 한미일 3국의 외교 안보 협력을 탄탄하게 하기 위해서 한일 관계 개선도 매우 필요하다라는 데 대해서 세 나라가 공감을 해왔습니다. 따라서 이번 협의에서도 한일 관계 개선 방안에 대한 논의가 있었는지 궁금합니다. 그리고 특히 주차관님께 궁금한 것인데요. 네, 강제동원 피해자 소송 관련해서 강제동원 피해자 지원재단이 대납하는 방식으로 일본과 협의 중이라는 보도가 나왔습니다. 이 방식은 새롭게 기금을 만드는 것과 달리 피해자의 동의 없이 가능하다는 법적 해석이 있다고 하는데요. 그렇다고 해서 피해자와 공감대 없이 추진할 경우에 한일 위안부 합의처럼 추후에 문제가 될 소지가 있습니다. 원고 측과 이 방식과 관련해서 어떻게 소통을 하고 있는지 궁금합니다. 그리고 모리 차관님께도 간단하게 이와 연관된 질문을 하나 드리고 싶은데요. 일본 기업이 1965년 한일 청구권 협정으로 모든 배상 책임이 끝났다라는 판단을 유지하면서도 인권 존중과 도의적 차원에서 피해자에게 사과를 하고 피해자 지원재단에 자발적으로 기부하였을 때 일본 정부가 이를 막을 수 있는 명분이나 수단이 있는지 궁금합니다. 이상입니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 오늘은 우리가 3국 외교 차관 협의회로서 우리 3국이 공유하는 북한 문제를 비롯한 글로벌 이슈에 대해서 심도 깊은 논의를 하였습니다. 따라서 오늘은 양자간 현안에 대해서는 논의가 되지 않았습니다. 그런 전제하에 질문을 하셨으니까 답변을 드리자면 한일 관계 개선은 한일 양국 모두에게 중요한 과제입니다. 그리고 말씀하신 강제징용 문제는 한일 관계를 개선하는 데 있어서 우리가 해결해야 될 우선적인 현안임에 틀림이 없습니다. 따라서 우리 정부는 외교적으로 일본과 협의를 하는 한편 또 국내적으로 그동안 민관협의회를 거쳐서 피해자와 관련자들의 의견을 수렴하는 과정을 통해서 최대한 공감대를 받을 수 있는 최선의 해결책을 모색하기 위해서 노력하고 있습니다.
among the stakeholders, and the government is paying much attention and making every effort in that regard.
それでは以上をもちまして共同記者会見を終了いたします。プレスの皆様は森事務次官、シャーマン副長官、失礼いたしました。
一言お答えします。このチョヒョンドン次官から答えがあった通り、今回のこの協議は3カ国の時間協議でありまして、3カ国の協力について話しました。ですから、日韓関係そのものに関するやり取りはございませんでした。その上で申し上げれば、この北朝鮮の対応をはじめとしてですね、先ほど私から申し上げた地域の平和と安定にとって、日韓、そして日韓米の協力が不可欠であるという点については、先ほどの議論の中でも改めて確認をしたところです。日本としては今後ともこの3カ国の重層的な意思疎通を通じて、日韓米の3カ国の緊密な連携を一層促進、前進させていきたいと考えています。
はい、それでは以上をもちまして共同記者会見を終了いたします。プレスの皆様方は森事務次官、シャーマン副長官、チョ第一次官が退場するまでそのまましばらくお待ちください。
Thank you. ですよ。
ご協力ありがとうございました。
Thank you for the cooperation.
プレスの皆様方におかれましてもご退場をお願いいたします。どうもありがとうございました。